steaming sauce. Sick. Have you smelled his head? I have, thanks.
And we are back without Frank stuff. It's your boy Lou and Keem, and we are back for episode 2, the recap of The Baby. How you doing, Keem?
You hate me, Lou. That's my only explanation for you being like, King, there's this show. I need you to watch it and review it with me. That's gotta be it. You hate me.
You
This
know
this
what?
is this is now we're frenemies now. That's what this is.
Wow.
I
You
thought
know
we
what?
was family.
Not the Vin Diesel line. I'm not the Rock now, am I?
You're the Rock. Or wait, maybe I'm the Rock.
Okay,
I'm the
because you're
Rock,
leaving.
and
You're
you're
leaving.
Vin Diesel. Because I'm piecing the oof. Listen,
Oh,
babies.
trust me, it was not only with babies, but it's definitely one scene in this episode that we good that I thought when I saw that scene, I said, "Oh, Keem is never watching this show again."
I am an emotional wreck.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Episode 2 of The Baby. This one is called Seduction. So let's quickly jump into the first big thing we get in this episode, which is we get a quick flashback of the baby with another mother who's not the mother that jumped off of the cliff in the first episode. But we get to see just how murderous this baby is as he was completely stressing out this woman. And I think it was Foos, because that's the friend's name, right? I'm saying his name right. Foos.
I think so.
Yeah,
I never learned his name as soon as
Foos
I
and the girl who was in the shop with, we realize is the girl who jumped off the cliff in the first episode. So it's almost like the baby found a replacement mother and killed the current mother that he had. What did you just think about that introduction into this episode of us getting that flashback of him being with a completely different mother than the two we've seen him with in the first episode?
as soon as I saw him with that poor lady, I was like, "Oh, I knew it. I told Lou. I told him. I said, I bet he's done this shit before." And guess what? Here we are. And the baby might be a little racist because he's taken out a lot of mothers of color. Like,
I'm sorry. Wow, but he's killed white women. He has killed lots of different types of women. I ain't gonna say he racist, but maybe his evil may be a little colorist.
either that or the baby is one of those I don't see color people because he's but we'll get
So
there, but you
so
know.
so after we get, after we get the flashback of him killing his first mother and getting his second mother, which we once we look at it, we realize who this woman is. We realize it's the woman that fell off the cliff. We quickly go to present day with Natasha and the baby in her household, and she is absolutely terrified and has the slightest idea what to do with this baby. And then her friend Rita comes over, and this is where it gets kooky because it. I'm going to ask you this question: was the baby playing with their minds and tricked them into thinking that he was always her baby?
I think that baby has some kind of demon baby mind control. Number one, not only was Taj terrified, that woman was sleeping with a butcher knife. Like, I will cut a toddler if they come for me while I'm asleep.
Yeah,
But yeah, like for a second, her friend is like, why do you have a baby? And then the next thing is just like, she's like, this is not my baby. It's not my baby. And she's like, okay, Tosh, we should get you some help. Like,
yeah, yeah. It
this
threw me off because it's like, okay, so she clearly like, no, this is your kid.
this is your
Why do
I
you want
mean,
to give up your baby?
it's your baby now anyway, if nothing else.
So then this leads Tosh to then call her other friend Bobby just to get confirmation. Like, do I have a baby? It's I don't have a baby, right? Like I really don't have a baby, right? And we see that something took place with her and her friend after the poker night. But here her friend has completely reversed it, where it has something to do with babies also. Like, I understand that the baby has amazing killing abilities. And at this point, I understand this baby has amazing mind control abilities. What do you think? And this is going to be a weird question to ask for episode 2, but what do you think like the goal of this baby is? Because later on in the episode we see something else that makes me really question what the heck this baby is doing.
Demon baby. I mean, it's just kind of a like anytime you watch any of those like the haunting TV shows and stuff
Yeah.
like that, there's like good spirits and then there's bad spirits. And I feel like this baby is what my grandmother used to call a pokey dice because she didn't know how to say poltergeist. But I feel like this baby is just here to like wreak
Torture.
havoc on people's lives.
Eh,
Like just suck all the life out of them, and then once you don't have anything else to give, he's looking for a new host so that he can just like feed off of them too.
because then we get what possibly for me was the scariest scene in this episode. And this is Tosh going to the store to get more information, and she has to change the baby. And when they get into the changing room, I need to know, was he actually, did that actually, was he pooping that much? Or was he just playing with her mind there because he was having fun with her?
Well, I'm gonna say that's where the baby gets its kicks because at this point, like it's not a baby, right? I mean, granted, babies can poop a lot. Like I just
Yes,
saw a
they can.
video the other day where this new dad had come out and was like, the baby crapped through the diaper. Isn't the diaper supposed to hold it all in? So, like, we know that's a thing, but I don't know that we've ever even really seen the baby eat. So,
Not at all. By this point, not at all had we seen the baby eat anything.
I think her friend, Reet gave him like a little piece of banana or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's what's wrong with the baby. Nobody's feeding this kid. Like
So
the first mom was like eating a cookie in front of him and he's like, share that cookie. And she's just like staring at him and eating the cookie and he's like, all right,
you
eat
dead.
your ass. Yeah, that's it for you.
The second mom just held him in a little bag and ran to a cliff with him. He's like, but you didn't feed me yet. Like,
I'm just hungry. If someone would give me like a little granimal or like a
well,
Teddy
damn it,
Graham,
Snickers. Like at this point, you get a
debank.
little, you get a little murderous when you're hungry.
That baby is a 45-year-old man who just needs a snack.
That's
That's
not
it.
Danny DeVito. But then we get to her attempting to figure out more stuff as she goes to the store. Then her friend Fuzz talks about a friend who had a baby or a sister who had a baby, and then he brings up the baby again, which makes her attempt to put the story together, which we actually saw at the beginning of the episode, that this is the same exact store that the first mom died in, and that he got his second mom. Now she's bringing him back to the store, and she's wondering, is there footage on camera
Mhm.
that can prove this isn't my baby and who this baby's mother is? Here we seen Tasha still trying to search for the baby's mother instead of paying attention that the baby's killing everybody.
It just has not clicked with her yet.
I,
No, I think it did click with her because when Reet came to visit and was like, "I'll just take him for a walk," and
yeah,
she's like, "Oh no, he's gonna kill you, girl.
yeah.
We can't,
Like
we
she was
can't do this."
she's clearly terrified for anybody to kind of be around the baby. But what do you
But
think her goal of even what would you think her goal would be to view videotape of him having another mother?
I think so. Two things. Um, when she's like terrified for anybody to be around the baby, there's some new moms who like literally don't want you to touch their baby. I am in
Mhm.
that school of I will break your kid. I'm not gonna hold it until it's like sturdy. So don't you ain't gotta worry about me. But like there's some moms like nobody can do what they can do for that baby. Like, no, I'll change them because you're not gonna do it right. Even the father, they don't want the dad to handle the kid because
Mhm.
he's not gonna do it right. So or the other parent like no I just I'll just do it, don't worry about it.
Yep.
um but then I also think like she's going back and forth in her head now, like, this is not my baby, right? Because she called her other friend, like, I didn't have a baby. And the friend is like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're being an asshole now. We get it. You don't like babies. Okay. But then mid conversation, it turns to just put the baby down for a nap. You can take a little nap. And then she's like, what? But I don't have a baby. Do I have a baby? So that's like,
It's
and
the conflict.
yeah. And the question I had was, did she know? Was the friend's name Julia? I'm gonna call her Julia. Did she know, like, had she seen Julia with the baby, or is it just a thing where like a month ago they were chatting in the coffee shop
And
and then
then
Julia disappeared for a month
it's
and
almost like the baby's erasing people's memory.
at least
Fool,
altering it?
Fool's Fuzz may be the only one that kind of looked like he remembered who that baby was.
Because I feel like he said that when like they were watching
Yeah.
the video and he was like, same baby, isn't it? Weird. And then like towards the end, she's like, is this or is this not the same baby? And then he was like,
And
I
as
don't know.
he's trying to figure out, is it the same baby? And she asks the question, his little dog, who they've been playing fetch with this entire episode, the
Bruv.
baby.
R.I.P. Bruv.
The
Just
baby decides to play fetch with the dog in traffic. One, the moment the little tennis ball rolled out the baby chair and continued to roll mysteriously out of the cottage into the street, you're like, oh, they're gonna kill this dog.
No, the moment when the first mom walked into the shop and bruv growled at that baby, because you know
Yep.
they say dogs can sense evil. I was like,
Yep.
oh, that dog's gonna die. Like that's it for that dog. And so then when she walked back in and the dog started like Tosh came back and the dog started growling, I was like, oh, such a cute dog too. R.I.P. bruv. I know this is not gonna end well for you.
Hey, that was an extremely gruesome scene to set up killing that poor little Spud McKenzie that way.
And they even gave you like a little bit of hope because the first couple of cars missed him, and you're like, oh,
He dodged him. You're
maybe
like, yes,
not. Maybe he gets the message and now he's gonna be like, okay, baby, I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna sit down. I'm not gonna growl at you anymore.
I'm gonna act right,
I'm
and
gonna
then I'm
act
gonna
right. We cool. And then
baby like, nah,
boom.
nah, nigga, no more lessons. This is
No,
your lesson.
no. Yeah, you had your chance to sit there and be quiet, and you did not. You growled at me.
So once this happens, and Tosh immediately understands that you can't go around killing dogs. She clearly understands that the baby killed the dog. Also, at this point, the baby's body count is at 9. Is it 9 or 10 for the show? It's high. It's high.
He's got a
He's
high body
he's
count,
racking up
and
Michael Myers numbers at this point. His baby's killing people left and right. But as Tosh takes him back home, we see her. She's fed up at this point. It seems like she wants nothing to do with the baby. She leaves the baby crying, but then she goes to cook.
because crying baby, like,
And then she is a chef. So that's like her comfort zone.
and
But then she does it to make the baby food. And we
yeah,
finally get to see the baby eat something.
finally. But I also feel like I don't know, there's something instinctual. Like I was at a birthday party, a birthday brunch a
Mhm.
couple of weeks ago, and there are folks at the table that had kids, and then a good deal of us that don't. But there was a baby on the other side of the room crying, and we all stopped talking and like looked and we're like, what do you think is wrong with the baby? I bet he's hungry. He's probably tired. He probably needs to be changed. Does she fed him? Like, this is not our kid.
Uh-huh.
But all of a sudden we're all like instinctually concerned about what's happening with this kid. Do we need to get up and go over here and help with this baby
Exactly.
for
So
no reason? Yeah.
as you pointed out in the first episode, and I'm going to use this word correctly. I know I'm going to use it correctly. You ready,
Say
King?
it slow. Say it slow. Okay.
The show is a allegory. Is that right?
Yeah.
An
I think
allegory
I
for
said
motherhood.
metaphor, but yeah, it's both of
Oh,
them.
so I just use a fancier word than metaphor for me.
Both of them. Both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like allegory or metaphor for motherhood. So far, everything that we've seen in this episode, especially when we get to the end of this episode, where it feels like Tasha just had enough after she receives a hard drive, which I don't know who's sliding flash drives under people's door in 2022, but she receives a flash drive and it shows the baby with about 20 other women
From different times.
from different time periods. So it's almost like this baby never grows up.
Same outfit. Like,
Same onesie.
can we get the little homie some different little booties or something? Them same little gold socks. Like,
Like he's had on the same outfit and different mothers. He had multiple black mothers. Like multiple black mothers. One of them, she had braids. How you pull off that white baby with braids? No,
they
not
probably
because
just
she
thought
had
she was
braids.
the nanny.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, she's probably just she's a nanny. She's taking him out for a walk. It's okay.
But
But
after,
even Tosh, the
yeah,
guy said was like, my sister has a baby and her baby came out looking white, but it's better now. So
again, it's the dry British humor that also works wonders for this show because that was one of the funniest things in the world when he said, "It's all right now." Like, no, the baby was never supposed to be that light, but it's all right now. So we're cool that it's no longer white. But here, when we get Tosh, as she decides to go to a field and leave the baby, and she thinks she can leave all her worries behind. And as she attempts to escape the field, she gets trapped in a maze.
a corn maze, because that baby is a child of the corn.
Exactly. That's all I thought of was Children of the Corn and them little blonde-headed bastards who were scaring people. I said, "Oh, that's perfect for this baby." But I did find it weird that after a while, after she got lost, even when she was running away, she seemed to still be worried about the baby. Like, no matter what evil thing she's seen this baby do, she kind of knows that this is not her kid, but she was legit concerned of what was going to happen with the baby. I thought, was she kind of crying when she was running away?
You know why? Because she smelled his head.
Yeah, she did smell his hair right after she fed him what appeared to be spaghetti sauce.
Mm-hmm. It was some kind of puree, like a red pepper and something puree with
Something way too
not enough
fancy for a
garlic.
baby.
Too too fancy for me. Like, girl, if you don't put this over some noodles and sprinkle some cheese on it, like, what are you
Girl, fuck that
doing?
baby. This is a full
Yeah.
meal here.
And give me some chicken fingers. Like, I would like tendies and nuggies with my puree, please. Thank you.
Wow.
Um,
But even at
yeah,
that scene,
I think she just felt still, I mean, because even though in your mind something is not right with
mhm,
this baby, like, this baby is not a real baby, but also you're leaving a baby in the middle of a cornfield on a cold, I'm assuming a
yeah,
cool night, and you're running away and you're hearing it like crying out for help now, and even though it's a demon baby, it's still a baby.
and people still love babies no matter what. And then
Weird.
this is where we get the other interesting thing that happens is after she picks up the baby and attempts to calm the baby down, a mysterious white woman appears in the backseat of her car and says, "I think we need to talk."
Like,
And
lady, we needed to talk like 4 deaths ago.
again,
Something is up with this baby.
when she turned and that woman was in her car, it reminded me of Insidious when the woman turned and the little red monster said, "Ah," at your face. I was not prepared for that old white woman to be in my car magically. Like
That
again,
yeah. Um, I think I wonder if that is the baby's, like,
demon nanny.
demon original mom, like, I don't know, like, great, 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 great granddaughter or something. Like, there's a long line of
Evil
weird
people
white
for babies.
women
Yeah.
that
Hey. Once an old white woman magically appears in your car, just understand you're gonna die. Because they don't
like, it's
they
not
never
getting
come with
better from
something good.
there.
They're not
It's
Gilda.
not.
They're not the
Like,
good witch. It's like it's never
Glinda.
the old
Glinda.
Glinda.
Who's Gilda?
Okay. All right. I don't know who the hell Gilda is. But
I will
Gilda
say
doesn't even
though,
sound like a white witch.
well, there's like Gilda Radner, who's she like in the 70s on Saturday Night Live, she was a really awesome comedian, but
Well, I don't think you want her in the backseat of your car either.
also,
Mysteriously in a
rest in
cornfield.
peace, Gilda, because she's not been with us for a minute. So that's a whole other show. But I feel like there's a lot of symbolism and breadcrumbs they're throwing at us. Like I was saying, after we watched the last one, the music that they're choosing,
Yes.
it's not just, your usual like Run the Jewels playing in the background. It's like there was the Inuit throat singing. It sounded like some other I hate to say tribal, but tribal music from some different culture.
Yeah.
I don't know what that, like, did all of the old school tribes come together and put a curse on somebody and curse this baby to like roam the earth forever?
Yeah, like what is the purpose of, I mean, again, after 2 episodes, you're now kind of wondering what is the true purpose of this baby. We
Yeah.
understand the baby can kill people, but we're hoping that this old white woman in the back of the car gives way more information on what the purpose of the baby is. Because at this
I need her
point,
to have answers.
after 9 deaths, we need to understand exactly what this baby is and why it kills people so freely, and what's the point of us having multiple mothers.
And Foos said something
Foos.
too when he was talking about Bruv. He said that Bruv's mom rejected him so that he has separation anxiety. So is this something where way, way, way back when the baby's mom rejected him, and maybe like
An insidious spirit was born?
I mean, it would make sense. It's a theory. It's just a theory, but also this is an allegory. This is a metaphor for
Motherhood.
the struggles of motherhood.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of like the Babadook. Like you watch that whole movie, like
and you're like, oh,
what the hell?
Or It Follows, and you watch the whole movie and find out it's about sexually transmitted disease that follows you, which is true. Like, so I mean, it's so far after 2 episodes, it seems like a pretty decent setup. I mean, the first one didn't give you too much, but this second one give you a lot, especially again once you get to the flash drive with the mothers. Any final thoughts, Keem, on episode 2 of The Baby Seduction, which is an odd title for this.
There was nothing sexy about this episode. Nothing. Maybe
the seduction was the mothers. Maybe the seduction is to the mothers.
Yeah, I guess like she felt compelled to keep coming back, even though like she. And I'm gonna my cat came back theory, because she left his little ass in the hallway, and then she was like sitting down on her bed, and he was like sitting there in the thing. So yeah, I guess so. Like this is a toxic hood relationship that she has with this baby. Like she knows he's no good for her. He's not paying no bills. He's hurting people. He's pushing her friends away. And she, I can't quit you.
Don't tell me the baby is my guy from Waiting to Exhale in a leather vest screaming out, you raggedy bitch.
That's exactly who the baby is. Instead of throwing oranges, he's throwing tennis balls into the street and killing dogs.
Murdering people. And on that note, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Falling out the top of the I can see the skyline, 50-mile radius on my timeline.